Hello everybody, this is Joshua Picklesheimer of Augusta University. Today we bring you Season 2, Episode 1 of CavsCast from Augusta Preparatory Day School. We are coming to you from the TVC lab at Augusta University. Today on CavsCast we'll talk about clay targeting, Coach Kevin McDougall, two senior football players, Fripp McDougall and JT Gay, as well as a football team manager, Rachel Gay and Chris Gay, Director of Preps Communications. Welcome to you all. Thank you for coming on the show today. So we'll get it started with you, Coach McDougall. Please talk about the clay targeting team and the team members and how they're performing this season so far.
Yeah, so we've got our biggest team yet this year. There's 7 members on the team. We've got Fripp, Evan Friedman, Crawford McDougall. So Fripp and Crawford are my boys. Then we've got AD, Brandt, and Parker Holloman, and Elizabeth Fender. Clay targeting is a mix of male-female shooters. And they've been performing really well. We've had 2 meets so far, and I think for the most part, everybody's improved from meet to meet, which has been good.
That's cool. Talk about how the athletes train for skeet shooting, and then like where y'all do this training at.
Yeah, so we practice at Pine Tucky. Our practices are on Sundays. About 2 hours of practice, and with the shooting, the first thing that we always do is safety, and luckily we have a very good veteran group. I trust every single one of them that are out there, and then the meets themselves are on Sundays. There's meets all over the state, and for the most part we do the meets at Pine Tucky, and those are on Saturdays and last about the whole day. Mm-hmm. They go through we do a skeet, trap, and sporting clay. So there's 3 different elements to it, 3 different disciplines. And for the meets, they go through 200 rounds per meet. So it's a lot of shooting. The kids and the coaches are tired by the time that day's done, especially when it's hot.
I bet. So I think you were talking about it just there, but what are some of y'all's important competitions coming up on this year's schedule? Was that pretty much what you were talking about? So the way that the sporting clays works is if the kids shoot in 3 meets throughout the season, then they qualify for state. Mm-hmm. And that's really the goal. And state is a ton of fun. It's down in Savannah at Forest City Gun Club, which is the oldest operating gun club in North America. And there's a lot of times there's about 700 or 800 kids shooting, and they actually shoot 300 rounds over a 2-day period. Cool. So would you say that y'all's goal this year is to get there?
Yeah. It's always a goal to get to state. If I make it, if we make it to state again, it'll be Fripp's 6th year in a row heading down to Savannah from middle school through high school, and so it's a lot of fun. You've got teams from all over. Everybody kind of gets together, just has a good time.
Fripp, what's your experience doing that down there? Going to those since middle school.
Yeah, going down there's a lot of fun. It's a very big complex, and like the sporting clays course there is like the prettiest sporting clay course I've ever shot on. It's over a big lake, so like you'll see people shooting on the other side, and like you'll see the skeet break before you hear the shot. Like you'll see the skeet splinter, and then all of a sudden, like 2 seconds later, you hear the big bang, and then it's really cool. It's a really neat experience. Like it's like you said, about 800 kids, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
No, I bet. It sounds like a lot of fun just hearing about it. Let's move on and talk about y'all as football players for a little bit. So, you, Fripp, and JT to my left here, last Friday night, y'all played and y'all won y'all's first game of the season over Piedmont Academy, 16-14. So, Fripp and JT, either one can go first here. Talk about how the team played as a whole and how the Cavs in general pulled out the victory in that one.
Yeah, so that was our first big win that we had this year. It was like a legitimate dogfight to the end. Like we just pounded it on them. We were the more physical team, and that's what we needed to be the entire time. We're a young team, so it's kind of hard. But last Friday night, we really got together and brought it to them, and just out-physicaled them the entire time. And it was a good game for us. Good game for us.
What about you, JT? What do you think?
I don't know. It was a great team win. Everybody fought. And even the backups. So even when the starters would come out, the backups went in and they fought really hard.
That's cool. Talk about what positions y'all play and then your responsibilities at those positions.
Yeah, so I play offensive guard and linebacker. I'm probably not the most typical build for an offensive guard.
I was about to say, I was surprised when you told me that. But
yeah, I'm a little smaller, about 170, but I get after it, and that's like the whole idea that we have to have in our line. Our line is typically smaller, just because we're a smaller private school. But we're a really young offensive line too. I think we have 5 returning varsity players. Everyone else is brand new to varsity football, so it's been new. But me, like on the offensive line, like I'm the most experienced guy on the offensive line, and like I'm always there to like tell people what to do whenever they're confused. Like just give people like a little bit of information that could help them on the guy in front of them. Just try to beat them out, and especially at offensive guard, it's just like you have to out physical the guy in front of you. If you don't out physical them, then you're gonna get beat. So.
What about you, JT? What position do you play?
I play wide receiver and corner, and we have a very good group of wide receivers and corners this year. We have a couple older guys and a bunch of younger guys. And basically, we've been trying to learn all year. We get better every day.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard beforehand that y'all are probably the most experienced or some of the most experienced players on the team. So how is that for y'all, since y'all only have 5 returning varsity players, for you two in general having to be some of the leaders on the team? And what do y'all do at practice, and what do y'all do in games to show that leadership to your younger teammates?
Yeah, so I mean, it's been different this year because I've never been in that like leadership role. I mean, I've played since my freshman year, and so has JT. But it's different this year because we've all had guys with more experience come up in front of us, and they've always been there to help us get stuff done and like just do stuff the right way that we want to. But a lot of the guys that are new don't really know how to play varsity football, don't really know the experiences that are needed to get the job done. But especially this year, it's been a lot of coaching up the younger guys, telling them like what to do during the games, how to react if something doesn't go their way. It's just it's been new, and it's been exciting to me because I mean I feel like me and JT have definitely found a new role on the football team as being those leaders and those guys that people can look up to and people can ask questions to. So it's been pretty good for us, I think.
What about you, JT? Do you enjoy being like the leadership role? Because you said there's a lot of young wide receivers and DBs with you. Do you enjoy that leadership role you have?
Yeah, I do. I think it's great for us to be able to teach them, and it's good to see them improve every day, especially when you help them after they do something wrong, and congratulate them after they do something right. Yeah,
no, I think that's really big, especially at like in that high school era. I think that's really big that when you're having that encouragement, not just from the coaches, but like your fellow teammates, that's really big. That'll help you a lot. So y'all have Bullitt County coming up this Friday.
Yeah.
Tell me anything that y'all know about them as like a school, their team, what all you got to get.
Yeah, so we know they run the wing T, which is we haven't really faced the wing T yet. We've faced a lot of triple options teams, but I mean this is just another version of triple option for us. But they're going to be a fast team. They're going to be one of the bigger teams we play this year, and they're going to be very fast. Their best running back, he's a little smaller, a little shiftier, but he's extremely fast, so that's going to be probably our toughest challenge the entire time. But they're generally a bigger school. They're 4A, we're 2A, so it's going to be a little different. But I think we played them last year. We won last year in our homecoming game. That was one of the best games that we ever played in. So we're hoping to have a repeat of last year.
Explain to me what wing T means, because I think I know what it's like a run-heavy offense?
Yeah, it's a run-heavy offense. It consists of 2 wing backers, which are technically like just an extra lineman, just like in a stand-up position behind the offensive line. And it's very run-heavy, which is what we have to stop heavily this year.
Yeah, no. What about you, JT? What are you looking forward to about this Friday?
I'm looking forward to getting after basically us at corners. We gotta fight the receiver, get off the block, and make the tackle when they run outside.
I like the sound of that. So talk to me about how y'all see the rest of the season going. Y'all are 1-0. You got Bullitt County coming up. Talk about like after this, like how y'all see like the rest of the season coming up, and how you expect to perform.
Yeah, so I think our toughest games are our first 2 games, and I think like coming up towards the rest of the season, it's going to be more teams that are our size, more teams that we can heavily compete with, which I'm excited about because I think it's just going to be a different feel for us because it's a younger team and it's just going to be more experience that's going to need to be had. And I feel like these games that are coming up are going to be big. And we have our 2 region games at the end of the year, which I think are very winnable games for us, but we just have to go out there and perform. and get the job done.
Both of y'all are student athletes. So, you were talking about the athletic part of y'all. Talk about y'all's academic part of y'all. What are y'all's favorite subjects in school at Augusta Prep, and why? JT, you want to go first?
And one of my favorite subjects is math this year. I'm not a very good math guy, but we have a new teacher, Mr. Finland. This is his second year at Prep, and he makes math a really good class, and it's very easy to learn in his class and make it more understandable.
Math was my favorite too. What about you, Rip?
Yeah, so I think my favorite class this year is either going to be anatomy or AP Euro.
Oh my!
Yeah, I've always been a big history guy. I've always been a big science guy. Last year, my favorite class was probably AP US History, and this year is probably Anatomy and AP Euro. So it's just a weird combination for me, but I mean, those are just classes that I enjoy. So
cool. I feel like both of you might be thinking about college. One of y'all might not be. Talk about where you want to go if you're going to college, and if college is not like a option for you, or like you don't see that as an option. What do you think about doing? So we can start with you, Flip.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about going to either UGA or UNC. I just depends on which one I get into.
Gotcha.
And if I can get any scholarship money to either of them. So I just got to see where that comes out for me later on in the year, and then I'll go from there. But yeah, those are probably my top two options right now.
Well, you're taking AP Euro, so sounds like you're on the right track.
I hope so.
What about you, JT? What do you plan on doing?
I plan on joining the local electrical union, IBEW downtown, and I don't know. School's just not I'm not a big school guy, so I just want to do something else after high school than school.
I like that. It's something different. Absolutely. Both of y'all play baseball. In fact, I hear that Fripp, you'll play third base, and JT, you'll play shortstop in the spring. So, what do you guys like? We're done talking about football for now, but what do y'all do from like an infielding standpoint? Since y'all are on like the hot side of the infield, like what are y'all's like things that you do to make yourselves better as infielders?
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be my first year playing third base as like my main position because my freshman year I played first, sophomore year I played short, last year I played catcher. This year I'm going to be playing third. So it's just going to be like a lot more quick reactions because, I mean, as it is a hot corner. That's where you're going to get the most hardest balls hit from your right-handed hitters. So I'm just going to have to stay on my toes, try to make the best plays that I can, and just be as athletic as possible at that position.
Sounds like you've been a utility guy for a long time, huh?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What about you, JT, in shortstop? What do you do?
Just a lot of repetition, ground balls, a lot of drills, a lot of work with your glove, and I don't know.
So you must be able to fly, and you got a cannon. I like the sound of that. So what are y'all's goals for y'all's baseball season for this upcoming season?
Yeah, so our baseball team has been on the best streak that it's been in the past few years. Especially since our freshman year, we've had the best seasons. It's just keep getting better and better. And again, like that's just our goal for this year: is just keep getting better and better. Win some more region games, make it to the playoffs. Try to get as far during that as we can. So yeah,
I like the sound of that. All right, now Rachel, you've been waiting patiently, so let's move on to you. So you're the team manager for Augusta Prep's football team. So talk about that and some of your responsibilities that come with the job. Yeah. Football.
So, responsibilities with football. One of the main things, and what a lot of people see, they just think, oh, you're a water girl and that's all you do. But, I mean, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes things that, I mean, people don't see. I'm not always at their practices, like, at every minute. I'm not always outside doing water for them. I do equipment. Like, I help them. If I helped Fripp yesterday at practice tighten his, screws on your
chin strap.
On your chin strap, yeah. So some of that, and some of that I can't do, but some of that, and water, laundry, towels, cleaning, like washing towels, simple as that. Just getting stuff done after the game, but just being there for them, making sure I'm there if they need anything and if the coaches need anything.
Gotcha. So walk me and the viewers of this show and the listeners of the show what a typical Friday night looks for you. when it comes to football?
So we get out of class at about 2:30, and then after that we'll have advisory on Fridays usually, and then I'll go down to the training room, and I have a list of all of the stuff that needs to be done every Friday night, and so I'll look at that, and usually on a Wednesday or so, I'll already have some stuff together, bags together, just what I need to take outside, make sure I have everything together. So I'll just make sure all of that is there. And then we have our pregame meal, and then after that is just when everything kind of starts happening, and just putting all the coolers together, doing stuff for the other team, just making sure, they have coolers when they get there, what do they need, bring all the bags outside, just making sure we have everything. The boys will come in at some point, they need to get taped, and I don't necessarily do all of that, but we get that handled, whatever they need, if they need something fixed or just, need something in general. And then when they go outside, I'm still bringing stuff outside, and then post game, it's just dumping everything out and cleaning up the best I can, and then just really cleaning on Mondays.
I know a job like that is very important. It sounds like you make the team go round. You're also a manager for other teams. So talk about those teams that you manage and how those teams are managing. Being a manager for those teams are different than managing the football team.
I think managing those teams, it's just there's something different about football, and I think I have a bond with basketball and baseball too, but there's just something a little different with football. It just feels like we're just a little bit closer when it comes to that. But basketball season and baseball season are both really fun still, and it's different. Totally different things when it comes to basketball, like taking pictures, making sure I have, more than one person, more than just me to do things, just because, stuff like social media, taking pictures, and doing the book, getting, coolers ready, and, towels, whatever. I think for all the sports, it's whatever the boys need or the coaches need, but basketball, it's stuff like that, and like filming, and then baseball, it's just all the stuff that goes into baseball, like doing the scoreboard, the iPad, which is Game Changer, that app, stats, stuff like that.
No, all that stuff is really important. Definitely goes unseen sometimes, but it's really important. So, I asked Fripp and JT about their academics and what they're planning on for the future. So, talk about yours, Rachel. Is there like a favorite subject that you have at Augusta Prep, and then talk about like your future plans college-wise?
Yeah, so I think this year, I think it might be forensics, and I'm not the person that likes all the gory stuff. But, we've been in school for a little bit now, and the more I'm learning, I'm just like, okay, this stuff is really cool, even though, I have JT in it with me, and I have our sister in it too, and she's all for the gory stuff, and I'm not. But I just think it's a very cool class, and we have a good teacher teaching it, and, we're just, like, we'll do certain labs or, trying to figure out like a murder or something like that, and watch stuff on all of that. So I think it's very fun. And then when it comes to my future, I'm planning to actually go to Augusta.
Oh, cool.
So
got a incoming Jag. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, planning to come here next year.
That's really cool. So Chris Gay, I'll move on to you. You run one of probably one of the best public relations departments of any school in the Augusta area that I've heard of. So what is the key to that success and your school's success in that matter?
Well, first off, so I run 9 or 10 social media accounts, and I've got a guy who helps me out with our athletics account named Ryan Batchelor. And Ryan is excellent when it comes to graphic design, and has some really great ideas for some videos for athletics and just keeping the student athletes engaged in videos, and he makes it fun for them. And so I'll do some things. I'll take some photos from time to time. But Ryan does a really excellent job, and I just want to give him a shout out because he's really great at what he does. I'm sorry, what was the second part?
How has that been like a key to your success to like running one of these?
Yeah, I mean,
departments?
This is sports related, and so one of the things. So I had the good fortune of coaching baseball these past 4 years, and I stepped down after this last season. We're about to build a 19,000 square foot science building on campus. That's going to be, it's future facing, state of the art building, and it's going to open up in January. So that's going to consume a lot of my time. And the good thing is, these 3 seniors will get to take part in it before they graduate. So just communications that's something I learned here at Augusta University. That's something I worked for the Bell Ringer for 4 years, and got to really learn a lot, know people, and I worked for the Augusta Chronicle for 20 years, and that background has really helped me with what I do. But I was just looking at the kids here, and I call them kids, but actually they're almost 18. So really they're young men, young women. And I look at them, and these are 3 of the most caring people on campus probably. They're caring, they're competitive, and they're leaders. JT and Fripp, I could see that leadership by the time they got to their sophomore years in baseball. They want to win. They want to work hard. They really both work really, really hard. And Rachel works really hard at what she does. She cares about the boys and making sure that the football team does everything they can in the background to be successful. And one of her nicknames is sort of the momager. So not the manager, but the momager, because she's sort of like Mother Hen. She's taking care of the flock. But yeah, I'm just glad to be around these kids, and just can't wait to see what their futures hold.
Yeah, that's awesome. Talk about some of the other fall sports going on at Augusta Prep right now, and if there are any highlight athletes that you want, or featured athletes from any of the teams that you want to talk about. Yeah,
we've got some great seniors playing sports. Sarah Beth Trotter, Maya Nussbaum, they're helping our varsity volleyball team be successful. Just this week, I've seen our JV team defeated Evans in straight sets the other day. Our middle school team, they had some good success last night against EDS. We've got some really nice runners. We have a big meet, a home cross-country meet in a few Saturdays. Annie Trapp is one of the top runners in the state, if not the Southeast, and she's probably going to go somewhere to run in college. And her brother Hayes, he's running now for William & Mary. So, and then we'll roll from there. So we have that, and then we have the clay target shooting as well. And Kevin does such a great job with that program. And then we'll roll into basketball season, and then spring, and then the school year just sort of snowballs. Everything goes really fast, but
I bet, especially with having to deal with that science building too, So last season when we had you on the show, you were talking about baseball, but you've since, like you were saying, stepped down from the varsity baseball head coaching position. So are you still going to help out with that program in any other capacity other than head coaching?
Yeah, just trying to help out in whatever volunteer capacity I can. The program's led by Todd Booker, who is our football coach, and he's a longtime baseball and football coach. So the program's in wonderful hands, and I'm excited about the season because Augusta Prep's never had a winning season in baseball. We've had a tremendous success in recent years. Just last year, these guys, they were able to beat Westside for the first time, able to beat teams like Cross Creek, and they played at SRP Park and beat Westminster a couple of years ago, and we've got the good fortune of playing again at SRP Park this spring. We're going to play Westminster in late March. And so I think this season, with the coaching staff they've got, with the guys they've got, I think this is going to probably be the best season Augusta Prep's ever had in baseball. So I'm very excited about it, and I'm going to stay in the background and just watch Coach Booker and Coach Finland do their things. They're great coaches. They're great people.
I bet you're looking forward to it. Now, this might not have to do with Augusta Prep, but I wanted to ask you before we wrapped up the show. You know, I'm a big one as myself, but I hear that you're a pretty big Braves fan. So talk about your postseason predictions before we wrap up the show. Give you a little shout out to the Braves right now. Why not?
Oh man, don't put me on the spot here. Yeah, I mean, we were able to go see the Braves play early this year at Truist Park, and if you've never been, it's a wonderful experience. I encourage everybody to go see the Braves play there. The kids and I, we went in 2021 to the playoffs, Game 3 of the NLDS, and we saw Jock Peterson hit a home run into the Chop House. You guys remember that? Oh. And I think the best thing, at least for JT, was we sat in the back row of left field, and he got to smell the barbecue. It's just, it's just, the atmosphere is fantastic. But the Braves are playing well. You know, Acuna's having an MVP season. Matt Olson probably would be MVP
if it weren't
in any other season. I could go into a deeper discussion about that. So if the pitching holds, I think the Braves have a chance to, maybe pick up that second ring in 3 years. So we'll see.
We will
see. The
pitching
pitching has to be there.
Yes, sir. All right, well, that's going to wrap up today's show for CavsCast. Thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure talking to Coach McDougal, Fripp, JT, and Rachel, and Coach Gay. CavsCast is a production of Augusta Prep Athletics and the Department of Communication at Augusta University. Thanks to Augusta Prep Director of Athletics, Roy Bradley, for the support of the podcast. The producer today was Ethan Balducci, and the coordinating producer was Dr. David Bulla. I'm Joshua Picklesheimer, your host, but stay tuned for a new podcast in a few weeks. You can find us on YouTube and other social media. Have a great day and listen again soon. We're out.